Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you guys had a great day at work, much like I did. And before I get into today's episode, I want to go over a unsubstantiated claim I made last night in my video about the lady that was attacked by dogs and lost her arm. So, just so you all can see that it is a real story, here you go. Complete disbelief. Portland woman mauled by pack of dogs recovering after losing arm and ear. Apparently, she didn't lose her eye. She almost lost her eye. But if you feel like looking up this story, you can go sacrifice your own personal time to do that. I'm just doing this to show you that I'm not making shit up about why I think that you should follow these stanzas, and specifically the one that was speaking about carrying a weapon with you wherever you go. These are our religious beliefs, and not only is that right protected by our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, but it's straight up a part of our religion. We carry weapons with us wherever we go to defend ourselves from people that want to cause us harm. So, with that out of the way, welcome to another installment of A Fool's Interpretation of the Havamal. I am your host, Robert the Fool, and this evening we'll be going over stanzas 39, 40, 41, and 42. So, let's get into it. I have never met a man so generous nor hospitable that he would not welcome repayment. Nor have I met a man so giving that he'd turn down a thing offered in return. What this reminds me of, okay, well, other than myself, because anytime somebody has offered to pay me back for something or give me something, I have always accepted repayment or something offered to me in return for whatever it is that I did. Uh, Very rarely have I not accepted repayment. And the only time I've never accepted repayment is when I'm helping out. Well, now she's passed away. So she's a Christian. May her God bless her soul. She's a devout Catholic. Her and I used to love speaking about religion together. Very much miss my conversations with my grandmother about religion. She used to be, I could tell when I first told her when I was like 18 that, and at the time I used the word pagan, told her that I was a pagan. She was real nervous about it. Uh, and she just passed away uh, not that long ago, less than a year ago. But over the course of like 10 years, oh shit, like 20 years, talking about, because now I'm 37, talking about religion, I could tell she came to an understanding where she didn't have to worry about where I was going after I die. But I would never accept repayment from her for doing stuff to her. Oh, I'm not going to lie. When I was a teenager, I'd go over, do yard work for her, blah, 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 stuff like that, help her out, and then she'd pay me. Yeah, you want $20 for mowing the lawn? You trim my hedges, blah, blah, blah. But after I became an adult, uh, like after I got back from basic training, it was like I was 19. When I would go do work for my grandmother, I would stop accepting payment or something like that. I'd tell her, make me some food to take home. I want your leftovers. That's what I want, Grandma. If you're gonna pay me in something, pay me in your food because I love your food. Yeah, you know, um, and she's survived by her husband, who is my not my blood grandfather, but I call him my grandfather. I've known him since I was 15, and um, he always tries to pay me to do stuff for him too, because he taught me how to do a bunch of landscaping when I was a teenager, and he used to pay me for it back then. But after I became an adult and I'd be doing yard work with him, we're hanging out outside, and then afterwards he'd try to flip me some money. I'm like, I can't accept that. Like this is me doing this for you is my repayment to you for the things you did to me for me when I was younger. So it's like you can't repay me for something that I'm doing as a repayment to you. Like, but since this the idea in this stanza of 39 runs deep in many different cultures, and so even my grandfather, as a devout Catholic, he uh, wants to pay somebody back for the things that they do, and yeah, it's so it runs deep in admirable culture all over the world. Stanza 40. Do not be so sparing in using your money that you don't use it for your own needs. Often what you save for your children will end up in the hands of your enemies. Many things will go worse than you expect. Now, obviously, when everybody talks about this, they bring up the example of back in the day of the Vikings, and some dickhead going on a raid, stealing your fucking cows, and all, finding your little treasure hoard that you got buried underneath the back lot of your property, and stealing all of your shit and running away with your cattle and blah blah blah. How do you apply that today? Like that shit has, like, yes, we understand the idea of that happening to somebody, but how do you make this contemporary? Well, bro, you need to turn your cash into assets. Don't save money to give to your kids that survive you because it will be taxed. So turn it into an asset, put it into a trust, have it be, like you need to take care of your money so that it can't be taxed when you give it to your kids. And when you do die, you need to take care of it in such a way that it can't be taken from your kids, because you want your money and your assets, you want your money to go to your kids. The government's going to tax that shit. So you need to turn it into an asset, or you need to put it into a trust, and then they need to be the conservator of that trust. They need to manage it. If they're not an adult, by the time you pass away, you got to find a trusting adult you can make be the manager of that trust or those assets. But yeah, bro, like in today's world, we don't really got to worry about other warlords coming and taking all of our shit. Right now, what we got to worry about is the government taxing every single aspect of your financial situation. And you need to take your finances and turn them into physical assets, or put it in a trust, and then put those physical assets in a trust so that they can't be like put on a lien and taken or something. Like basically put everything in a fucking trust. But don't come to me for financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so there's your fucking warning. But yeah, turn your money into assets, and then put your assets and your money into a trust. 41. Friends should provide their friends with weapons and clothing. Oh, God, I love that. This kind of generosity shows generous mutual giving is the key to lifelong friendship. I mean, isn't that just fucking pretty obvious sounding? And it's so amazing when you go to your friend's house and it's not even like a holiday or their birthday or anything, and you just say right when they open the door, I come bearing gifts. And it doesn't matter if all you have is your leftovers from the night before that like it might have been some meal that they like. So you're like, oh shit, you know, David likes my succotash, and I made it last night, so I'm gonna bring it today. And while we're hanging out, playing video games, watching movies, smoking bowls, or drinking beers, or whatever the fuck it is that we're doing, skateboarding outside, doing a little bit of working out, MMA. We're helping, do some yard work with each other. I'm gonna bring this motherfucker some dinner that I made last night. Or shit, maybe all you did was bring some bowls. Here's some bowls. I brought the beers. I brought the fucking pizza we're gonna eat while we take a break after doing some yard work. Or it's like, next time you're on Amazon and you're looking at all these fucking Prime deals and you see an article of clothing, think about how it might look on your buddy instead of you. Uh, and you'll be surprised at how good it feels when you give your friends a gift and they're completely surprised and taken aback by it, and they act like it's this fucking like really, they act like the gift that you're giving them is like 10 times like more important and expensive than it really is, because they weren't expecting to get it from you. And people remember shit like that. And so I think that that's important. I think that this is an obvious stanza that makes sense. 42. Be a friend to your friend, and repay each gift with a gift. Repay laughter with laughter. Repay treachery with treachery. Now this one, it always kind of irks people, because nobody wants to be mean, right? Nobody wants to be mean, especially to your friend. And we all know the saying, an eye for an eye leaves everybody blind. Blah, blah, blah. If we all go casting stones and everybody's gonna, be hurt, whatever the fuck, a Christian would say, let the person who has no sin cast the first stone, in reference to that story about Jesus and the hooker. Yeah, those people are fucking crazy. Go stoning people. I mean, maybe if you got like a pedophile that is a 100% actual pedophile, but goddamn, leave the poor prostitute lady alone. But yeah, in all seriousness, no, my friends and I have done this treachery part many a times. If you fuck over your friend, you should expect your friend to fuck you over right back. And if your friend fucks you over, don't. That's like you guys are. That's like sharing a bridge with somebody, and then this motherfucker is either sawing halfway through beams or lighting little fires on the bridge, and you're just still walking across it back and forth, being like, "Oh no, that's fine, Steven. That's just Steven. Steven just does that every now and then." But Steven also helps maintain the bridge during the the annual maintenance day. Steven's always out there working on the bridge. He's like, yeah, but this guy is also fucking you over too. And so, like, what do I mean by that? Like, instead of a stupid analogy, what this reminds me of is the drug addicts in my family and the drug addicts that I used to be friends with. And I'd let these people stay in my life after they screwed me over time and time and time again. They rob me. They steal from me. They physically attack me. And then me, because I want to be a nice, good person and I want to try to help this person out, I'm like, oh no, man, I'll forgive them. I'll forgive them. It wasn't them. It was their addiction. Johnny's not really like that. He was just fiending when that happened, or he was just high, or he was just really drunk. He wouldn't do that normally. Normally, he's the best person in the world. And it's like, no, bro, this motherfucker robs from you. You gotta nip that shit in the butt, like right away. You have to, first of all, you have to call that person out. And you have to get back whatever the fuck it is that they took from you, if you can get it back. And then you have to establish the new boundaries of your relationship. So you gotta be like, okay, obviously, Steven, since you needed a place to stay and I let you stay at my house, and now I come back from work and I got some shit missing. Now you can't. Now not only can you not come to my house, or not only can you not stay at my house, but I can't fucking let you come over here anymore. Like, how am I supposed to trust you? You know, uh, if I go take a shit, I'm gonna have to like look in my stupid little money pot that's next to my stove. You're gonna take the cash out of my cookie jar, fucking asshole. And it's like, no, yeah, like everybody has a problem with this bottom part of stanza 42 because of this stupid pacifist Christian bullshit that is stuck in your zeitgeist of turning the other cheek. Like all these fucking people that have the stupid parts from the Sermon on the Mount of Jesus saying turn the other cheek, and like when Peter cuts off that soldier's ear when they're coming to snatch up Jesus, and then he's all like, oh, if you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. Like, yeah, motherfucker, this guy's trying to arrest your ass. I'm going to go down murking as many of them as I can, and if I die in the process, I'll be kicking it with Odin, in Valhalla. Like, you guys are going to suck a dick. I'm not going to be some pussy and just sit here and let them fucking arrest my friend. Fuck that. And so, treachery deserves treachery. Laughter with laughter, gift with gift. The same gets the same. You don't repay treachery with laughter. You don't repay treachery with a gift. Your drug addict friend or family member steals from you. You don't repay them with the gift of continuing to let them live at your house or be in your life, or you don't pay for them to go to rehab again. How many fucking times are we going to fix these people's teeth and pay for them to go to rehab just to have them do this all over again? Yeah, I'm ranting about this one because shit like this. I'm 37 years old. I've been dealing with this shit for damn near, I guess like 25 years of my life with everybody, all these people in my life that are affected by drugs and their stupid different addictions and stuff, and the nice people in my family continuously getting fucked over because they repay treachery with laughter and gifts. And you need to repay treachery with treachery. Don't be a pussy. If somebody stabs you in the back, you fucking stab them. Pull that knife out and stab them right back. Obviously, that was a metaphor. Don't go stabbing people with a fucking knife. Don't be a goddamn retard. But I'm going to go get ready for bed because it's now 11:37 and tomorrow's Friday. We got a bunch of shit to do, just like you guys do, because we're men of action. You young men, you young teenagers that are growing up, you need to focus on being a husband and a father. Don't focus on being a skyballer. I'm going to reference Andrew Tate again. Andrew Tate is a fuckboy. And believe me, I would never let my daughters go anywhere near a guy that strives to be like Andrew Tate. So just think about that. You guys have a good night. I'll talk to you later.